Welcome back to another session of Coaching in the Bigs. Got my friend Kamua Murray here. You went through some adversity. Coach and Sloane Stephens had to deal with the big injury, and man, you guys capped it off at the U.S. Open. I got to ask you about that run. That was magic.
When you look at like Sloane's U.S. Open story, you got to go back to January of 2016, where she sort of started to turn the page, and she won Auckland, she won Acapulco, she won Charleston. And you know, one of the things I told her when we first started working together is to win a tournament, you've got to get it right for 7 days in a row. And that's really hard. You know, you've got the off days, you've got the eating, you've got no bed bugs, you've got the practice partners. And to win a 2-week tournament like a Grand Slam is even harder. You know, the U.S. Open was just a phenomenal run. It wouldn't have happened had she not gotten it right for 3 one-week tournaments a year prior.
She dealt with the adversity of having to deal with the injury. How much did that injury change her mindset, or did it at all?
When you do have an injury and you can't move, the coach has actually an opportunity to teach. You have an opportunity to slow the game down, isolate the court because she can't run. During that time off, she was open to, okay, what do you want me to do? What can we work on while I'm sitting in this chair? What can we work on while we're sitting on the corner of a table? And I think if not for that time off, I'm not quite sure she would have had the run she had that summer.
Her ability to deal with the big moments at the U.S. Open. What were you guys focusing on? What were those conversations like before those big matches?
Prior to the match, I mean, you know, you have your 5 or 6 tactics that you're looking on. You also have to just be realistic and say, you know what, you're gonna be in Arthur Ashe Stadium in front of 20,000+ people. If you start feeling it, I'd say breathe, swing, and move your feet. I always make the joke, I say, hey, Sloane, there's more in than out on a tennis court. Right? So if you really start feeling it, just make the ball.
And then after she won, man, landscapes change, right? And she had a bumpy road. Now she's starting to play better again. How do you deal with that adversity of not having the results that you want after a huge victory like the U.S. Open?
You know, a lot of people, you know, win a Grand Slam, you know, have a couple bad matches, a rough stretch, and they'll panic. She didn't panic in the process, and you know, she looked at sort of the flight of some of the other players who had won Grand Slams the previous 2 years and sort of struggled before. So I think that sort of helped her just kind of stay calm and say, I'm not alone. And I think what you see now is just her being healthy again and just sort of sticking with the process.
I know you launched your passion project in Chicago. Let me hear the rundown on it.
10 years ago, I started the foundation, and you know, we started the process of building a permanent home about 4 years ago. So now we are fully open and operational on a 27 tennis court facility on the south side. You know, and I think we're all proud that this amenity has been built and finally come to fruition.
That sounds terrific. Thanks so much, Kamau. Good luck down the road, and look forward to seeing you out here on the road a little more.
Thanks for having me, Paul.